The cold wind sliced through the bustling city like a silent whisper of loneliness. Among the crowd of polished heels and briefcases, a little girl stood barefoot on the corner of 5th and Grand. Her tattered coat barely clung to her fragile shoulders, and in her tiny hand, she clutched a stuffed bunny missing an ear. She looked no older than 6. Her eyes scanned the sea of unfamiliar faces until they locked onto one woman, tall, poised, and dressed in a sleek navy blue suit. "Excuse me, ma'am," the girl's voice trembled. I don't have mama. Can I spend a day with you?" Everything stopped for Alina Hart, the powerful and unshakable CEO of Harttech Industries. In the middle of her packed morning, filled with investor calls and a pending merger deal, that one sentence pierced deeper than any boardroom betrayal ever could. She turned slowly to see the little girl staring at her with large brown eyes, filled with more sorrow than any child should carry. Alina knelt to her level. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Lila," the girl whispered. "Mama went to sleep and didn't wake up last week. They took her away, and I didn't know where to go. I saw you. You looked kind, like her." Alina felt her throat tighten. She hadn't cried in years, not even when her own mother passed during her rise to the top. She had taught herself to armor her emotions behind success and power. But now, in the middle of a busy sidewalk, her heart cracked. Alina called off her meetings for the day. She gently took Lila's hand and said, "All right, Lila. You can spend the day with me." At first, it was awkward. Alina didn't know what to do with a child. She took Lila to her penthouse, an architectural marvel of steel and glass with panoramic views but no warmth. Lila stood by the window, silently staring. "You live alone?" Lila asked. Alina nodded. "I always have." Lila smiled faintly. "Me too, now." That one line silenced every ounce of pride Alina had ever wrapped herself in. As the hours passed, they shared pizza on the floor, watched old cartoons, and painted with watercolors on legal-size notepads. Lila's laughter started to ring through the apartment, filling it with a kind of magic it had never known. But behind her giggles, Alina sensed something deeper, an aching need for belonging. For love. Then came the challenge. When Alina offered to call social services to help find her a safe place, Lila's face crumpled. "No," she cried. "They'll send me to a place where people don't care. They'll keep me in a room with bars on the windows. I just want to stay with you. Please, ma'am. Please." Alina had never felt so helpless. She spent the next several days using her resources to trace Lila's background. Lila's mother, Elena Rivera, had no close relatives. Her father had vanished years ago. With a heavy heart, Alina realized the child truly had no one. She sat up one night in her silent living room, holding a cup of untouched tea, staring at the couch where Lila had fallen asleep with her bunny. Her usually sharp mind was clouded with a question she never expected to face: was she ready to let this child into her life? A woman who had built empires, but never a family. The next morning, Alina dressed differently, less CEO, more mother. She knelt beside Lila and said, "Lila, how would you feel if you didn't have to leave? If maybe I could be someone for you? Not to replace your mama, but to love you like she did?" Lila blinked up at her, unsure she'd heard right. "You mean, you want to be my mama?" Alina felt tears rise. "If you'll let me." With a squeal of joy, Lila launched into her arms. The process wasn't easy. Alina had to fight legal battles, prove her capability beyond her corporate identity, and show the courts and herself that she wasn't just a woman of ambition, but one of heart. There were moments of doubt, moments when Lila had nightmares or Alina had to cancel major deals because Lila had a fever. But slowly, they grew together. Lila began school. Alina adjusted her lifestyle. Her board raised eyebrows. Her investors warned her. But none of it mattered anymore. Not when a little girl greeted her every evening with a tight hug and stories about her day. A year later, Alina stood at a school auditorium, watching Lila perform in a play as a sunflower. She beamed with pride, surrounded by other parents. And when Lila ran off the stage, she shouted, "That's my mama," as she wrapped her arms around her. For the first time in her life, Alina felt complete. In the end, the story wasn't about a millionaire CEO who gave a little girl a home. It was about a lonely little girl who gave a powerful woman something she never knew she needed: love. And that's the power of compassion. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing. Because sometimes, the smallest voices ask the biggest questions. And the answers change your life forever.